What is going on, y'all? Chuck Nunface here. Gonna do a bit of an unboxing video. Kind of took it out of the box already, as you can see, that it came in at least. Just because it was too big. I don't have a huge area. I could zoom out, but then it was just gonna be my desk and all that. So, if I had at some point I'll get a bigger work area, but right now, just take my word for it. The box was too big; it would have taken up the whole frame. So, not gonna waste a whole lot of time. Let's see. We're gonna get this knife right here. Use the Spyderco Endura. Warncliffe in K390 right there, sporting a nice patina coming in there. And we'll go ahead and get this one open. So I've been anticipating this. It arrived today. It was supposed to arrive yesterday. Now, if you're watching this far, far into the future, it was coming in through DHL, and there was a delay. It was supposed to be here yesterday, and that would have been the Tuesday after a long weekend. So I can kind of understand after the long weekend why it might take a little bit longer, because DHL doesn't deliver on Saturdays or Sundays. But it almost didn't come. I started to think it wasn't going to come today, and so I was getting ready to call up DHL and be like, "What's going on?" But it actually did arrive today. So let's get into it here. What we have is a Rockstead from Japan. And there's the cloth right there. These cloths are actually really nice. I think they're deer skin. I'll even take this cloth out real quick and just kind of show. So I know everybody just wants to see the cloth when it comes to a Rockstead knife unboxing. But yeah, it's like a deer skin on one side and microfiber on the other side. Maybe it's deer skin on both. I don't know. It's very fine, very soft. So the cloths for Rocksteads are really nice. So I have had, this will be my fourth Rockstead. I don't currently own any. But I have had, this will be my fourth. I've had a Shin. I've had two Hygos. One was a Hygo X IW with the ironwood inlay and no pocket clip. Ended up selling that one. Got a Hygo 2. Did have the pocket clip. Ended up selling that one. Yeah, long story short, I don't have any. But I've never had this one here. So these boxes they come in too. I forget the type of wood that it is, but it's almost like it's like a balsa wood. But it's got a different name. I don't remember what it is off the top of my head. But we'll kind of get into it. So Rockstead are just very special in their construction. I can't even get this thing off. So what we have here is the Tay. Get this stuff out of the way. Got that Stingray inlay. Nice tactile feel on that. Duraluminum handles. Deep carry pocket clip. Nearly seamless. It almost looks like an integral when you first look at it, but it's not. Let's get it open. Gosh, it's just so smooth. And that is the Tay. So for a while, this was considered Rockstead's very smooth flagship model. And on their website, they still call it the flagship. I don't know if a dozen years later you can still call this the flagship. They do have some other models now, such as the Ren, and they have a new one. They've got a couple of Shoe. They have a bunch of different models now. So it is going to take some time to break in. So right now, from my quick initial flicks, it's not flicking right open, but that is not surprising. So we're just going to put that right there, and let's take a look at the inside of the box, because this is always some interesting stuff right here. Specifications, let's get your registration number. So this is ZDP. Now on the website, they do list it as clad in, it is clad. Okay, so right there, it's going to be ZDP 189 core, so it's a SAMI construction at 67.2 HRC, and it is clad in VG10 at 60.8. So the VG10 is going to be for a little strength, a little more toughness, but the core of the blade, the cutting edge, in fact, you can see the differential. It's right around there. It's going to be difficult to see on camera. I don't know if it'll come through at all through that mirror polish, but you can see it very faintly. You can see the harder ZDP 189, less corrosion resistant ZDP 189 as well. So a lot of people think ZDP 189 is, because it has so much chromium, is very corrosion resistant. That is actually not the case, because ZDP 189 does hardness the old-fashioned way. It doesn't do it with vanadium and niobium and all that stuff. It just does it with a bunch of chromium and a shit ton of carbon. That's the way ZDP 189 achieves its hardness. And so a lot of that, in those other stainless steels, that chromium is in solution and therefore able to provide corrosion resistance, where with ZDP 189 it is not. They're forming chromium carbides, which are adding to the the matrix of the steel. So in any case, going back to it, so it's a VG10 clad. I think on the website they still even say ATS 34 clad. So I don't know how often they update their website. Clip is sus 420. Yep. And then the spring is also steel. Okay, cool. This is June 20th, 2023 manufacturer. So yeah, that's really what Rockstead is known for, is their high hardness on their steels. So they do two steels currently, and they have for a long time the YXR7, which is a little more tough, and then the ZDP 189, which is more known for edge holding. Now, I know this is sharp. I'm positive. I do feel that the stories told, because you don't see a lot of information on YouTube around specifically the Tay. There's some Shin videos, there's some Higo videos and everything else, but there's not a lot of videos on this. In fact, the only one that I could really find that was in English, that was more of an in-depth review, it's about 7, 8, 10 years old, something like that, from Jim Skelton. And, so I will probably do, I know I will do a review on this knife at some point, but I do want to do my initial impressions on this. And the initial impressions, it's just nothing surprising. So going back to it, there's not a whole lot of stuff on YouTube about, Rocksteads in particular, or Rocksteads in general. The Tay in particular, there's not a lot out there. Kind of the big question for a lot of people will be, is it worth the price? And honestly, that's completely up to you. You really have to decide if it is or not. There are people that say, well, my Chris Reeve, it does everything I want it to do, and, less than half the price. All right, cool. You're not wrong. But this is definitely a different level of craftsmanship. Every one of the Rocksteads, like I said, this is the fourth that I've owned. I've always been blown away by the craftsmanship. It really is second to none. And this is just going to break in really nicely. Like I say, it's not all that impressive right now, but it is very smooth, super smooth. And it's just got to break in a little bit. This is going to be one of those where they don't want you to disassemble it, I'm sure. So I probably just won't. I won't do it. We'll see. But I'm not going to do it just for grins. I may do it if I need some maintenance or something like that, but they really want you to send this back to Japan in order to maintain these. Real quick, a note on maintenance on these. I've actually had, you can go to their website and just see what they recommend. So they recommend just taking a block of wood, a flat block of wood, and then stretching a piece of denim over it. And then you can use They use Pical, whatever you want to call it, but it's just a cheap. Hold on, I'll find. I don't have it, but it's just a cheap polishing compound that's very easy to get in Japan, Asia in general, I guess. But it's not easy to get here in the States, and it's kind of pricey, so I don't bother getting it. What I've done, what I do use, hold on, let me find it. Shoot, I really should have been more prepared. Power of editing. Be right back. All right, and we're back. You can use this. This actually isn't the one that I'm currently using, but it's a product from Flitz. You just need it cheap. When I do my actual review of the knife, I'll prepare a little bit better, and I'll get the actual product that I've been using lately. But just something from Flitz. I actually contacted Flitz, and I said, what's the closest thing you have to Pical? Because those guys, they do all that stuff. They're industry people, and so they research all that stuff. And they said, just get our polishing cream. That's probably going to be the best thing, the closest thing to it. And so really, all you do is you just strop it. And Rockstead claims that even with daily use, regular use, not abuse, but you can maintain an edge for 2-3 years by just stropping it. Now, I don't know. I mean, a lot of it comes from the fact that it's a full flat grind convex edge. Or flat grind. It's a full convex edge. It's a zero bevel convex. So it's going to be a very, very durable edge. Now, and I think I started to talk about this and then I got sidetracked. Rockstead always, every reviewer says, oh my gosh, it's so sharp, it's scary sharp. Yeah, they're sharp. But you can make a knife as sharp as a Rockstead. You can. It's just, will you get an edge that's as long lasting as this full flat ground Rockstead edge? And the answer is probably not. You can. I can't. Maybe you can. I can't. But so they're just known to be very durable, long-lasting edges. Not durable in the sense that it's impossible to chip it or anything like that. I mean, it's ZDP 189 at 67.2 HRC. There can very easily be some brittleness to it. So you do have to, you can't just be stupid about what you're doing. But, with regular maintenance, and what I'm doing right now is really just, it's not even necessary to do. I mean, this is fresh from the factory, but yeah, that's all you do just to maintain your sharpness. Just gently, just do that right there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Stay tuned for more. I'll definitely, follow me on Instagram at Chuck_Nunface. Follow my backup at Chuck_Nunlimited. Drop me a comment. Let me know what you think about this one right here. What do you think about Rockstead? Overrated? Overblown? Let me know what you think. Share this video out there. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. I certainly do appreciate it. Those who have subscribed, y'all are awesome. And yeah, stay tuned for the review of this one and some other stuff that I have in the works. Peace, y'all.